Welcome to our next video of ancient Hindu temples of Kashmir. So before going to the details of ancient Hindu temples, we should know about the history of Kashmir. The history of Kashmir is intertwined with the history of broader Indian subcontinent in South Asia, with the influences from the surrounding regions of Central and East Asia. Historically, Kashmir referred to only the Kashmir Valley of the Western Himalayas. Today, it denotes a larger area that includes the Indian administered Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir, that means our own Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh, and the Pak occupied Kashmir, Gilgit Balochistan, and the China occupied Kashmir like Aksai Chin and Trans Karakoram Tract. In the first half of the first millennium, the Kashmir region became an important center of Hinduism, and later under the Mauryas and Kushanas dynasty of Buddhism. Later in the 9th century, during the rule of Karkota dynasty, a native tradition of Shaivism arose. It flourished in the 7th centuries of Hindu rule, continuing under the Utpala and Lohar dynasties, ending in the mid 14th century. So, in history, Kashmir has 1400 years of history of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Shaivism. So that is the main basics and the main Atma of Kashmir. Islamization of Kashmir began during the 13th century, accelerated under the Muslim rules during the 14th and the 15th century, and led to the eventual decline of the Kashmir Shaivism in Kashmir. And on that particular times, during that 14th and 15th centuries, under the Mughal Empire and under the Shahmi dynasty, most of the Hindu temples, most of the cultures are totally demolished by the Muslim rulers. According to the folk etymology, the name Kashmir means desiccated land. From Sanskrit, Ka means water and Shimira means desiccated. In the Rastarangini, a history of Kashmir written by Kalhana in the mid 12th century, it is stated that the valley of Kashmir was formerly a lake. According to Hindu mythology, the lake was drained by the great rishi or sage Kashyapa, son of the 7th sage Marich, who is the son of Brahma, by cutting the gap in the hills at Baramula. You know, the Baramula is name given by the Islamization. Actually, the name was Baraha Mula. That means Baraha is one of the avatar of Vishnu, and the name derived from that Baraha Mula. When Kashmir had been drained, Kashyapa asked Brahmins to settle there. This is still the local tradition, and in the existing physical conditions of the country, we may see some ground for the story which has taken this form. The name of Kashyapa is by the history and tradition connected with by the draining of the lake, and the chief town or collection of dwellings in the valley was called Kashyapapura. That means the land of Kashyap, which has been identified with Kashyap Papyrus of Hecataeus, who is the famous historian of Greek culture, and Caspatius by the Herodotus. Kashmir is also believed to be the country meant by Ptolemy's Kashmiria. Kashmir is an archaic spelling of Kashmir, and some countries it is still spelled this way. In Nilamata Purana, that means compiled in 500 and 600 CE, contains accounts of Kashmir's early history. However, being a Puranic source, it has been argued that it suffers from a degree of inconsistency and unreliability. But thing is that Kalhana's Rajtarangini, the River of Kings, all the 7,800 plus Sanskrit verses of which were completed by the 1150 CE, chronicles the history of Kashmir's dynasties from earlier times to the 12th centuries. Kalhana's Rajtarangini is the best scripture of historical scripture of Kashmir, and it relies upon the traditional sources like Nilmata Puran, inscriptions, coins, monuments, and Kalhana's personal observations born out of political experiences of his family. Towards the end of the work, mythical explanations give way to rational and critical analysis of the dramatic events between 11th and 12th centuries, for which Kalhana is often credited as India's first historian. During the reign of Muslim kings in Kashmir, 3 supplements of Rastarangini were written by Jonaraja, Shivara, and Prajyabhattu and Shuk. which end with Akbar's conquest of Kashmir as 1586. The text was translated into Persian by Muslim scholars such as Nijamuddin, Farista, and Abul Fazi. In this time of Muslim rulers, all the ancient Hindu temples are invaded and demolished. All the cultures of Hinduism was demolished by the Islamic rulers. So we are going to discuss 10 ancient temples of Kashmir, its flourished time, and how it was demolished by the Muslim rulers. So keep on watching our videos in Nationalist Hindu and Soham Banerjee online YouTube channel to know the details of the history of ancient Kashmir. Another Bengali version is also there, so those who want to know it through Bengali can view that files also. Thank you. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks a lot. Take care.